Okay. Hi everyone. Hope we're all fine. Um, I really want to be keeping my uh, courses really short because I think in the forex market there is little to talk about and little to do. I mean, little to talk about and more to do. And most of the time that we spend in the market, it's all about waiting. So enhance patience, discipline, and stuff like that. So okay, this is my daily time frame on the Euro USD, and today's lesson we going to cover to understand the market structure. But before we understand the market structure, I would just like us to really mark the highs and the lows that we have on the chart, just to really uh, have a part of the market that we can really focus on. Hope that really makes sense to you. So, looking at the market, if I really push it like this, before anything happened, so we had our high, we had our low here, and as price was really moving, we saw that this is what happened. And once that happened, we took out this high, and the next possibility in the market is to take out another low, and this is what we're really seeing happening. So, all in all, what the market does is this: once the market takes out the high, that is the liquidity that we are talking about in the market. So, like every high, every low, that's just consider those to be the areas the financial market or the market is really targeting. And today, to really understand about the market structure, behavior without adding any indicators that we can add to the chart, and just using technical analysis, and that's really another story that we can have time to talk about technical analysis and also fundamental analysis. But my main focus is just to look at the technical part of it, and I will back test from Monday up to today, Thursday. That is just my main focus, and I'm really going to drop down to the M15. I just mean 15 minutes. But before I even do that, I just want to really spot some things that I saw in the market on the daily. Okay, so this is what was really happening in the market. Liquidity was taken, right? Yes. So we had this. The market started making lower, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and we have another lower high here, and anticipating to make another lower low down here. So what is the direction of the market? Looking at the daily time frame, the market is really bearish because we're making lower lows and lower highs like this. Yes. And just to really put a picture of how a bullish market looks like, this is how a bullish market looks at like. It will be making, so this is like a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. No, not this one. Okay, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, something like this. This is how a bullish market looks like. So if there is a difference in the market, so we have the bullish market and also the bearish market. This is what really determines the direction of the market. It's either we are bullish, we are bearish, bullish or bearish. Okay, so spotting, looking at the daily to say we are really in a downtrend, what was my next move that I did before the week even started? Okay, so looking at this pull, we had this candle and this candle just showing momentum to the downside. And one level that that I really spotted was this level here, this level here. Okay, so I'll mark this as my buy side liquidity. Why am I saying buy side liquidity? Because I mentioned to say every high and every low is liquidity in the market. And I'll mark this as my sell side liquidity. Why am I marking this as my sell side liquidity? Because from this high and this, from this low and this high, these are the previous highs that we had before even Monday started. And put in mind, I'm not considering Monday. So once I really drop to the lower time frame, you are really going to see what I'm talking about. But I also mark this as my sell side liquidity. So this was my high, my buy side liquidity before this candle even appeared, and this was my sell side liquidity. Okay, so having this in mind, I dropped to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, what am I seeing? Exactly what I was talking about. So we had this high again here, and we have this low here as our buy side liquidity. And let's just see where we are saying, okay, this was our Monday, this was our Tuesday, blah blah blah. But looking at the market, where is our Monday? I just want to mark Monday so that we can get rid of Monday, Friday. Okay, and the boom, this was the chart before Monday came. Before Monday came, this was it. We had our buy side liquidity, and we also had our sell side liquidity. Why am I calling this sell side liquidity? Because this is the liquidity that we're going to take once we are selling. This is our buy side liquidity because we're going to take out this liquidity once we are buying. So it's only the buyers that are going to take out this liquidity, and the liquidity down here is only the sellers who are going to take out the liquidity. And as I mentioned, the tendency of a market is to do this. Once we take out this liquidity, we're supposed to take out this liquidity. If we are in a downtrend, we'll come again and take out this liquidity down here. So having this in mind, I'll drop down to the 1 hour time frame and just put in mind where the 1 hour is. I mean where the Monday candle is. Okay. So again, this was the chart here. Having in mind our sell side liquidity and having in mind our buy side liquidity in mind. And just know once price take out the buy side liquidity, it will have to take out the sell side liquidity. And what did we start seeing on Monday? Monday took out the sell side liquidity. But what really started happening? If we really picture the 1 hour, I can say it's not really clear, but let's do this. Let's drop the 15 minutes time frame so that we can really start noticing what Monday started doing. Okay, so we are here where price took out the sell side liquidity, and we're now targeting the buy side liquidity. Okay, and what do we really notice for to say that okay, price has really shifted and it has started going to the opposite side? Let's go back to structure again. Okay, so Monday opened with you this huge jump to the downside. So we had this, we had this, we had this, we had this. As we can see, price is really moving to the downside. We had this, we had this here. I know the structures are really too tiny and something that we cannot really see, but here is what we really talked about in our previous lessons. So there is that chart with the chart that I just shared, the picture that I just shared previously to say this is how the structure really looks like. So we had this down here. Okay, just to mark it, I would say there was this. Okay, then we had this high here. Okay, we had this high here, and as we can see, as price was really going down, so this was the last high that we had. It took out this low. What happened? Price pushed to the upside, and what happened? This is what we started seeing. Push, push, push. Price really shifted going to the upside. Okay, so once we see something, okay, so once we really see something like this in the market, there is a shift in market structure, something like this. So we price is really moving down, then we see something like this. So there is this sweep, and there is this again, then price will fail to really take out this low. We just have to know that price has shifted to another direction. And if we see something like this, for example, price is really moving to the upside, it takes out liquidity, it takes out the low, it takes out this, then we'll have to know that price has really shifted to the downside. So with this in mind, this is what happened here. We had this high, we had this low. This low was taken by this candle, and this high was taken by this candle. So once we see this shift, this is what we call break of market structure or market shift. So we've really shifted our attention from the downside to the upside. I know this may sound like it's Chinese, but I'm really willing to take much time on these lessons. I'm not rushing anywhere, and I'm not rushing anyone. If you have questions, please feel free, reach me out. I'm available for you so that we can really discuss and keep moving forward, growing together. Okay, so now let's mark structure. Now, since we have the sweep of liquidity and we have a break of market structure, what have we started seeing? Look at this. So we had this as our higher high. Do we agree? We had this as our lower high. Okay, when price reached here, what did we see next? Since it has started making higher highs and higher lows, okay, so price pushed up again, and this is what we are seeing. Boom. What did we see in price? There is what we call pullbacks, but pullbacks are not supposed to take out the the higher low. So how is a pullback really looking like in this trend? This is it. So we had this pullback, and notice it didn't take out this higher low. It just reached here. What happened? It again pushed to the upside. Okay, so having this in mind, let me just mark this as our higher high again, and this as our lower high, our higher low, I mean. Yes. Okay. Then let's continue on noticing price. What is price still doing? Okay. So price moved from here. It had this high, it had this low, it had this high, it had this low here, it had this pullback and impulse. I don't know if you're really noticing something. So the market really moves in impulse, impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback. Okay, so where is our next structure? Okay, so we can mark this structure here and this low here. We have this higher high and higher low. Where else are we seeing our higher high? I can see an higher high here, and there's a higher low here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. And if there's one thing that I'm really noticing in the market, is that structure is key. Once you understand structure, where is market going, you will never go wrong. Put in mind this line here, if we remember it, this is our buy side liquidity. We shouldn't forget this is the target that we're targeting. Okay, so what else did we see here? We saw price make another higher high and higher low. Okay, okay, okay. Something interesting is going to happen here, and this is it. So price push taking out this high, taking out our liquidity as well. our buy side liquidity. And once price reached here, look at this. This was our low that took out this high. Is it? Yes. First, let's pause here. Let me just mark this as my higher high and this as my higher low. Okay. Let's pause here. And what did we see? Did price take out this higher high? Yes, it did. Did it? Yes, it did. And where was our higher low? It was here. So, getting back to this narrative that I drew down here to say we are waiting for this sweep and this break of market structure. Then we have changed our structure from the downside to the upside. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we had our high, our low. Look at what happened. Price took out this high, is it? Yes. And what happened? Price came and took out this low here. So what do we have? Hence, this is our sweep of liquidity. And for sweep of liquidity, I just mark them as the US dollar sign. Yes, this. And for our break of market structure, this is something that yes, I just have to mark break of market structure. And what next do we anticipate from the market? The only thing that we want to see is a pullback to somewhere here in these levels here. If we see, get back to this is what happened. We had our sweep, our break of market structure, and we had this pullback to have to start going, to start having our buys to the upside. Let's see what really happens here. Are we really going to have a pull into these areas here? Okay, and this is what happened. So hence we had our high and we had our low. I'll mark this as our low, and I'll mark this as our high. Okay, I'll mark this as our high. Are we okay? Yes. Are we seeing price really come back to these areas? And I'll really I'll get back to candlesticks to see why we really came back to this candlestick here. Uh, I believe it will be another topic on for another day. And what do we really want to see here? Did we see price come back here? Yes. And what were we anticipating? We were anticipating to make our first lower high. Does this really make sense? Does this really make sense? We make our first lower high, and hence price moved from here, it came here, made this, made that, made this, made that, made this, and came down here. And okay, so just to really mark it out, so this is what we are seeing in the market. Once you really see it, once you really start noticing how the market really moves, it's something that you can try by all means to unsee it, and you can't. It's because you've really noticed how the market really works or plays out. So we made our second lower high, lower high. So this is our lower low, lower low, lower low again, lower low. Yeah, our lower high. So here we made our lower low and we made our higher